What's up gamers, Cryptico here, and welcome back to Lowering the Mark, a show where I analyze the current and former world records of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe time trial runs to see how these records get faster over time. We'll look at elements such as the loadout, racing lines, and mushroom usage to better understand what's bringing these times down. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when my videos go live. Welcome to Season 5. I know it's been a while, but I'm super excited to be back for the next wave of episodes. This season, and the next few after, are going to be a little different though. We're going to start taking a look at the alternate CC of a course I've already covered. In Season 5 specifically, we're going to be taking a look at the alternate CC runs for the courses from Season 1. So without further ado, let's get into it. For today's episode, we're going to hop back on the New Horizons hype train and take a look at the much faster version of this course, Animal Crossing at 200cc. On May 1st, 2017, the world record for this run was set at 1 minute 12.755 seconds by the French player Extreme, and nearly 4 years later, on April 25th, 2021, the record was brought down to 1 minute 10.997 seconds by the English player 4laps2win. That's a 1.7 second improvement between records and a 2.5% faster time. Our former world record holder Extreme has broken 105 world records across 17 unique runs and has spent 366 days holding at least one world record. Our current world record holder 4laps2win has only broken 16 world records on this run only and has spent over 550 days holding at least one world record. This is the only course in which he has a world record on, and it sure is a solid reign he's put together. Now, I've been gone a while, so I might have forgotten how to make these videos, but luckily I was able to call him some help, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm 4laps2win. I am the current world record holder for Animal Crossing 200cc, and I'm very excited to be here to explain my run.
I brought 4laps on the show so that he could give an in-depth description of his own world record run. You'll hear firsthand just how he did it, and at the end, he'll answer a few questions of mine. Moving right along, we've got the evolution of this world record. At pre-release, the world record wasn't even under 120, and once players started trying, the record would quickly make its way under 113, with Extreme and English player George being responsible for most of the records during the first few months after release. In late August of 2017, the next second break would be achieved by American player Jimmy as he went 111 for the first time. He would battle with Creep Ganon for a little bit, before Irish player Kevin took over and brought the record all the way down to 111.3 almost single-handedly. That mark would stand for over 260 days before Creep Ganon tied it, then beat it by the slimmest of margins the very next day. From there, Creep got into it with 4laps on a quest for the next second break. They would trade blows all the way up until 4laps ran away with the record, bringing it all the way down under 110. A mark that was thought by many to be impossible. In total, the record was broken 73 times by only 13 different players. The loadouts aren't too similar in terms of appearance, but they match up pretty well in performance. Extreme goes with the combo of Wario driving the pipe frame with the roller wheels and the plane glider, while 4laps goes with the combo of the heavy meat character driving the teddy buggy with the Azure rollers and the waddle wing glider. The only differences you'll see between these loadouts are minimal at best. 4laps has the advantage in top speed, but it's Extreme who holds the edge in acceleration, mini-turbo, and even handling, although it's not by much. Both loadouts are definitely well equipped to put up a pretty fast time on this course, but 4laps has fine-tuned his loadout specifically for this sub, and it definitely paid off for him. Let's take a look. Here's a look at the course. Nothing too exciting, just a casual stroll through some random island in a video game about animals. There are a few narrow parts and a few obstacles here and there, but not much else. Let's see how each player tackles this course. Extreme starts off the race with a rocket start and a quick jump boost before going wide around the first turn to collect a few coins, and continues that drift all the way through the second turn for that ultra mini turbo before eking out a quick mini turbo before the glider ramp.
I start by getting a normal start boost, then I do a hop or a bridge before tricking, then take the next 3 turns as tight as I can by grabbing the 3 coins. Afterwards I release my mini turbo from the glider and trick.
Right off the bat, we see a better line from 4laps. Taking the first turn tighter allowed him to save more time than you'd think throughout S1. He leads by 0.4 of a second going into S2 after only 9 seconds of racing. After hitting the glider ramp, Extreme glides on down, collects the 2 coins, and weaves between the logs before starting a long drift around this turn and hitting a jump boost off of the ramp before starting the next drift to finish out S2.
I head down to collect 2 more coins, then drift as soon as I land so I can get a clean turn and grab 2 more coins, then do a mini turbo trick off the first speed ramp to gain more speed and momentum.
Now 4laps pretty much just does the same thing as Extreme, but he carries more speed while doing it, and this is how he's able to collect the coins later on without losing much time due to going wider on some turns. His lead now sits at just over half of a second going into S3. After this uphill turn, Extreme rides out the boost of a super mini turbo before going off the zipper ramp. Once he lands, he starts to drift and uses his first mushroom to cut through this grass patch just before the finish line.
I head over to the left side to be on the far left side of the ramp. I drift off the ramp to get a good line to go over the SETI hole and lose my mushroom late. I also do 3 hops to help cut off more.
Again, both racers look similar in their approach, but drifting as he goes off of the ramp is what sets 4laps apart from Extreme in this section. That and the extra hops for alignment near the end of the lap, where he still leads by just over half of a second. On lap 2, Extreme opts to go tighter around the first turn and exchange the Ultra Mini Turbo for a quick normal and super one before hitting the same quick Mini Turbo before the glider ramp to close out the section.
I hop on the bridge like I do on lap 1 and go as tight as I can, but this time there are no coins to collect, so I can go even tighter than before.
Pretty much the same approach that Extreme took, except 4laps was able to carry more speed throughout this section and further increase his lead. He's ahead by just over 0.6 of a second at the end of S1. Extreme takes a longer glide through the air over that first log and goes into that same drift from lap 1 when he lands. He'll hit that jump boost on the first ramp before going into the next turn to close out S2, just the same as he did on lap 1.
I don't head down this time. Instead I aim for the log on the right so I could do a low trick off it, then do the same beach than before but tighter. On the turn afterwards I go really tight as there are no coins to collect.
That low jump is definitely the highlight of this section. For those that don't know, you can get a jump boost while gliding if you just barely graze over any surface that can be tricked on. It's definitely a huge time saver for this run, as 4laps has piled on an additional 0.4 of a second to his lead to go ahead by just over a second at the end of S2. Now to close out the lap, Extreme just repeats what he did on lap 1. Tight around the uphill turn, no jump boost off the ramp, and a tight mushroom cut around the final turn.
I then go to the left to do the same drift off the ramp and into the same shortcut and do exactly the same thing on the shortcut.
Nothing more to say here since that final section is eerily similar to what we saw on lap 1 from 4laps. Only thing worth mentioning is that he's extended his lead a little bit to go up by 1.1 seconds at the end of lap 2 after outsplitting Extreme by 0.6 of a second. 4laps and I both agree that the final lap is pretty similar for both racers, so here it is at a glance. Both racers hit that bridge jump boost before the set of mini turbos around the first few turns onto the glider ramp. Extreme will fly on down like normal, while 4laps hits that ever so precise low trick on the log before both racers drift through the beach and hit another jump boost off of the first ramp. When they land, they'll head uphill, hit the zipper ramp, and then use their final mushroom to drift on down to the finish line. Both racers put up an impressive final lap, but it's 4laps who takes the dub after posting a time that was only 1.7 seconds faster than Extreme's world record, but all the more sweet because of the 1:10 time. So by taking better lines, carrying more speed, and hitting that low trick to save even more time, 4laps was able to accomplish the sub that was literally 1,000th of a second away for so long and restore balance amongst whoever's island this is. Let's hear a few words from the man who made it happen. What was going through your mind when you finally saw 1:10 come across the screen?
At first I thought I was really wrong because I wasn't on 1:10 pace entering lap 3. I don't think I did enough there to achieve it. When I realised I wasn't reading it incorrectly, I was firstly thinking, wow, that lap 3. Then it came to me that I actually did just get for 1:10.
Was there any specific strat you had to perform almost perfectly in order to get this sub?
The main thing is to get almost perfectly out of a log trick, ending shortcut, a beach session. In a mess them up, you can lose a lot of time. I also had to get a very good second turn, because that can be a very punishing turn. I can lose many runs there.
The best known splits add up to 1:10.87. Is that a perfect run, or is there a faster theoretical time you're aware of?
The best known split isn't anywhere near max because there's a strap or two I haven't used, and the log trick on lap 1 is theoretically possible. If tallest distance speed runs were, then it would probably get 1:10.6 or maybe lower, and I can't see a human getting that fast with the knowledge known. However, 1:10.87, which is the current best known split, is realistic with the strap or two, and best known splits could probably get to a low 1:10.7. Thank you so much for having me here. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you all later. Bye!
Thank you so much for coming on. Congrats on your world record and good luck on improving it further. The best known splits for this run show that it has become pretty optimized thanks to 4laps. He owns all 3 of the best known splits and not one of them is more than 5 frames away from his world record split. He could make the most improvement on lap 1, while laps 2 and 3 are closer to perfect than not. You heard it from him, the log trick is technically possible on lap 1, and that is sure to save some more time. It's likely we won't see improvement from anyone else but him, although he does have just a bit of competition. The worldwide top 10 consists of 7 national and 3 continental record holders. At the top is 4laps with the only 110 in the world, right behind him is fellow British player Creepganon, and in third is none other than the Spanish legend Alberto. 4th through 7th place include familiar names such as Kevin, Hickey, Army, and Alpha, all separated by 1/10 of a second. To round out the top 10, we've got Zarusuke, Evie, and Tyler, all separated by 0.5 of a second and over 4/10 back from world record. Other than Creep and Alberto, it's not likely anyone else is going to touch 110 given how far back they are now. It's difficult enough to even get 110, so it might be some time before someone else joins 4laps with their sub. And that's the end of episode 41 and the first episode of season 5. I know I was gone for a while, but I'm glad to be back making these videos again. Major shout out to 4laps for coming on today's episode. Be sure to tune in next week for another look at the alternate CC of a course I've covered in season 1. Let me know in the comments which one of those courses you want to see next. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.